2026 is shaping up to be a truly defining year for Nintendo Switch 2. The new console is finally beginning to show its full potential, and alongside it comes a massive wave of games that make you want to upgrade your hardware, clear your schedule, and disappear into your controller for hours. These aren't just regular releases. They're the titles that will define the identity of Switch 2, showcase what it's truly capable of, and set the direction for Nintendo for years to come. Dispatch stands out as one of the most unusual and buzzworthy narrative adventures on the horizon, a superhero story that deliberately turns its focus away from flashy battles and instead zeroes in on the messy aftermath of heroism. You step into the life of Robert Robertson, better known to the world as Make a Man, a once legendary hero whose career came to a grinding halt when his massive mech suit was completely destroyed. With no way to return to the front lines, Robert finds himself stuck behind a desk in a harshly lit office, now working as a dispatcher responsible for coordinating a team of reformed villains who have reluctantly taken on the role of heroes.
Too easy.
Oh, you shouldn't have.
You're dead, I thought.
You're right at home behind that desk because you're no hero.
Gear Club Unlimited 3 shifts gears completely, delivering a full-throttle racing experience that aims to be the most ambitious entry in the series to date. Designed specifically with Nintendo's newer hardware in mind, this third major installment in the Gear Club franchise arrives after a delay from its original late 2025 window, now firmly set for February 19th, 2026 on Nintendo Switch 2. That extra development time shows in its expanded scope and polish, positioning the game as a standout early year release. Developed by Eden Games, Gear Club Unlimited 3 goes far beyond simple track racing, offering a robust driving experience spread across 2 major regions, the sun-soaked roads of the Mediterranean coast and the winding technical mountain routes of Japan. First Light marks the long-awaited return of James Bond to the world of video games, and it does so with cinematic ambition and a fresh narrative angle. Players step into the role of a young, talented, and slightly reckless recruit who has just entered MI6's Elite 00 program, tasked with proving himself worthy of the legendary 007 designation. The game unfolds across globe-spanning missions where stealth, gadgets, charm, and gunplay are seamlessly woven together. Its cinematic campaign leans heavily into espionage, high-stakes thriller moments, and classic Bond tropes, delivering a cohesive narrative packed with tension and style. Players are given freedom in how they approach objectives, whether slipping through shadows with silenced weapons and gadgets or charging in with raw firepower. While exhilarating chase sequences featuring iconic vehicles like the Aston Martin reinforce the fantasy of becoming James Bond.
Master Manipulator. Whatever the endgame is, we won't see it coming.
Good. Let's give him one.
Mario Tennis Fever brings Nintendo's iconic sports series roaring back onto the court with renewed energy, chaos, and personality. Developed by Camelot Software Planning, this latest entry isn't content with simple rallies and serves, instead expanding the formula with the biggest roster the series has ever seen, featuring 38 playable characters alongside 30 unique rackets, each offering distinct special abilities. At the core of the experience lies the new Fever Racket mechanic, which dramatically reshapes how matches play out. As rallies continue, players build a fever gauge, and once it's fully charged, they can unleash powerful fever shots that go far beyond raw speed.
With the Shadow Racket. There are 30 Fever Rackets. Play matches with unexpected rules, mobs, and other familiar shots.
The Duskbloods takes the haunting, gothic atmosphere often associated with From Software and reimagines it through the lens of a multiplayer-focused action RPG built exclusively for Nintendo Switch 2. Directed by Hidetaka Miyazaki, this ambitious new project departs from traditional single-player design by throwing up to 8 players into a dark world where player versus environment and player versus player combat collide in intense PvPvE encounters. Set at the twilight of humanity, the game places players in the role of blood-sworn, mysterious vampiric-like warriors empowered by a supernatural force known as the First Blood. Persona 4 stands as one of the most celebrated JRPGs of all time, renowned for its seamless fusion of role-playing depth, gripping murder mystery storytelling, and high school life simulation. Developed by Atlus as the fifth mainline entry in the Persona series, the game first launched on PlayStation 2 in 2008 before receiving multiple enhanced releases, most notably Persona 4 Golden, which arrived on Nintendo Switch and other platforms in 2023. Rather than focusing solely on dungeon crawling, Persona 4 divides its identity between two interconnected worlds. On one side is Inaba, a quiet rural town shaken by a string of disturbing murders, and on the other is a surreal television dimension filled with shifting, nightmarish labyrinths. LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight invites players back into Gotham City with an ambitious action-adventure that reimagines the Dark Knight's journey through LEGO's signature lens. Developed by TT Games, this entry is not simply a retelling of familiar stories, but an original narrative that draws from the entire arc of Batman's rise, from his tragic origins to his role as Gotham's ultimate protector. The game features a fully open-world Gotham City, allowing players to run, glide, and grapple across iconic districts while uncovering crimes, secrets, and hidden puzzles scattered throughout the city.
So serious.
Monster Hunter Stories. 3 Twisted Reflection returns to the beloved Stories spin-off series with a stronger narrative focus and a more cinematic presentation, while staying true to its turn-based RPG foundations. Set in a world divided between the rival kingdoms of Azuria and Vermeil, the story revolves around a growing catastrophe known as the Crystal Encroachment, a mysterious force threatening to reshape the world. Players take on the role of the sole heir of Azuria and its last Rathalos rider, thrust into a tale filled with political tension, ancient monster legends, and fragile alliances forged in the face of impending disaster. Gameplay preserves the series' signature turn-based combat, emphasizing the bonds formed with monsties, creatures you befriend and ride into battle.
But it won't be for long. Our ignorance is proving fatal.
Before us.
Can't afford not to go.
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle delivers a globe-trotting action-adventure that feels tailor-made for cinematic storytelling. Developed by Machine Games and published by Bethesda Softworks, the game is set firmly within the official Indiana Jones timeline, taking place in 1937 between the events of Raiders of the Lost Ark and Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Players assume the role of the legendary archaeologist as he investigates the mystery of the Great Circle, a ring of ancient sites scattered across the globe and connected by hidden power and long-buried secrets. The experience blends first-person exploration with cinematic set pieces, stealth gameplay, tomb raiding, puzzle solving, and whip-based combat, all wrapped in environments that echo classic adventure films.
Relics hold a force that could change the course of history.
Be complete to what? There's always a trigger.
Decapolice emerges as one of the most intriguing narrative RPG experiments of 2026, especially for players drawn to crime mysteries and detective drama. Developed by Level 5, the studio behind series like Professor Layton and Yokai Watch, the game is described as a crime suspense RPG set in a near-future cyber world. Players take on the role of a rookie detective navigating a complex web of cases that span both the physical city and advanced virtual simulations. Investigation sits at the core of the experience, with gameplay centered on gathering clues, analyzing evidence, and reconstructing crimes using a simulated reality system known as the Decasim.
ここ本当に仮想空間なの？コンシステムに潜入しプログラムを書き換えた。それって完全に犯罪だぞ。チクしろ。
武力兵器の使用はデカバングルにかざして申請よ。
Dragon Quest VII Reimagined is a sweeping, modern reinvention of one of the most expansive and story-rich entries in the legendary Dragon Quest series, rebuilt from the ground up to honor its legacy while welcoming a new generation of players. This is not a simple port or visual touch-up, but a full-scale remake that modernizes systems, refines pacing, and introduces quality-of-life improvements without sacrificing the heart and soul that made the original unforgettable. You begin your journey as a young hero from the quiet fishing village of Estard, living on a lonely island surrounded by endless sea, haunted by a single question that slowly grows impossible to ignore. Is this truly the entire world? That curiosity becomes the spark for an epic adventure that unfolds across time itself, as you and your companions uncover sealed continents, revive forgotten civilizations, and confront ancient forces whose actions have shaped the present.
Unknown, they'll encounter mighty foes and a myriad of twists and trials.
Mina the Hollower is a lovingly crafted action-adventure that blends retro inspiration with modern design sensibilities, delivering an experience that feels both nostalgic and strikingly fresh. Developed by Yacht Club Games, the creators of Shovel Knight, the game places you in the role of Mina, a brilliant inventor known as a Hollower, whose expertise lies in venturing into places others cannot. When the mysterious island of Tenebrous Isle suddenly loses power and is swallowed by darkness, Mina sets out armed with her spark generators, inventive tools, and sharp intellect to uncover the truth behind the blackout and the dangers lurking beneath the surface. Gameplay fuses fast-paced combat, thoughtful exploration, and puzzle solving into a seamless flow, drawing clear inspiration from classic top-down adventure games while injecting Yacht Club's signature personality and polish. Elden Ring Tarnished Edition brings the full scope and ambition of From Software's genre-defining masterpiece to Nintendo Switch 2, allowing players to carry the brutal beauty of the lands between wherever they go. This edition preserves the complete open-world experience that captivated players worldwide, placing you in the role of the Tarnished, a fallen warrior summoned to reclaim lost power, gather the great runes, and restore the shattered Elden Ring in pursuit of becoming Elden Lord. The vast world remains intact, filled with towering bosses, cryptic lore, hidden dungeons, and moments of quiet awe that define the game's unique atmosphere.
Between. This way can't you? The rays of grace.
Resident Evil Requiem marks a bold new chapter in Capcom's iconic survival horror franchise, delivering a fully original numbered entry that pushes the series forward while honoring its legacy. Set once again in the shadow of Raccoon City, the game weaves a story that feels both like a continuation of the past and a fresh beginning, centering on Grace Ashcroft, a character deeply connected to the city's darkest secrets. From the moment the game begins, tension hangs thick in the air as players navigate environments filled with dread, scarce resources, and grotesque enemies that demand careful planning and steady nerves. Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave continues Nintendo's iconic tactical RPG series with a brand new mainline chapter built exclusively for Nintendo Switch 2, signaling a clear step forward for the franchise. Announced during a Nintendo Direct in September 2025, the game retains the series' foundation of deep, turn-based strategy combat and character-driven storytelling while introducing a fresh narrative framework that sets it apart. The story revolves around an arena-style event known as the Heroic Games, where warriors from vastly different backgrounds gather to fight not only for victory, but for the chance to have their deepest wishes fulfilled. Overseeing this dangerous spectacle is the enigmatic Divine Sovereign, a figure whose true intentions remain shrouded in mystery.
Devotion in your beating hearts. Hear me now as I declare again.
I must cull it.
For that reason, I refuse to die.
Dynasty Warriors Origins marks a significant evolution for Koei Tecmo's long-running hack-and-slash franchise, reimagining its foundations with a more focused narrative and refined gameplay structure. Originally launched on other platforms before arriving on Nintendo Switch 2, this entry serves as a soft reboot that draws heavily from the romance of the Three Kingdoms, while streamlining its sprawling historical saga into a more cohesive arc. Players are thrown into the chaos of ancient China's most turbulent era, witnessing pivotal events and legendary conflicts through a lens designed to be approachable for newcomers while still offering fresh perspectives for longtime fans. Pokemon Pokopia offers a completely new direction for the Pokemon franchise, transforming its world into a cozy, sandbox-style life simulation centered on creativity, exploration, and companionship. In this spin-off, you play as a Ditto that has transformed into a human, arriving at a barren stretch of land with the goal of turning it into a thriving Pokemon sanctuary. The experience blends elements of crafting, building, gardening, and social interaction, inviting comparisons to games like Animal Crossing and Minecraft while retaining Pokemon's distinct identity. As you gather resources such as berries, wood, and stone, you gradually expand your settlement, construct buildings, design furniture, and shape the environment to attract new Pokemon.
What's this? Looks like Ditto's wood to build with.
Orbitals is a cooperative puzzle adventure designed from the ground up around teamwork and shared discovery, delivering an experience that emphasizes communication and coordination above all else. Exclusive to Nintendo Switch 2, the game follows Maki and Omura, two interstellar explorers stranded far from home after their space station becomes trapped inside a mysterious cosmic storm. To survive and ultimately save their home, players must work together to navigate dangerous intergalactic environments filled with hazards, puzzles, and obstacles that cannot be overcome alone. The game's presentation draws heavily from retro anime aesthetics inspired by classic science fiction stories of the 1980s and 1990s, featuring sweeping starfields, expressive characters, and dramatic cutscenes that evoke a sense of nostalgic adventure.
Nintendo Switch 2から出るよ。
Splatoon Raiders expands Nintendo's colorful shooter universe into entirely new territory, marking the first adventure-style spin-off in the Splatoon franchise. Built exclusively for Nintendo Switch 2, the game shifts away from competitive turf wars and instead focuses on exploration and narrative-driven gameplay. You play as the Mechanic, a clever and resourceful explorer tasked with uncovering the secrets of the Spirhalite Islands, a remote archipelago filled with strange phenomena and vibrant chaos. Joining you on this journey are familiar faces from the Splatoon universe, including members of the pop trio Deep Cut, whose personalities and banter bring warmth and humor to the adventure. Pragmata stands as one of the most ambitious and enigmatic action-adventure titles of 2026, representing Capcom's return to original intellectual property after years of focusing on established franchises. Set on a mysterious future lunar research station, the story follows Hugh, a human survivor stranded in a hostile and unfamiliar environment, and Diana, his android companion. Together, they must navigate abandoned facilities, battle rogue artificial intelligence forces, and uncover the truth behind the station's collapse, all while searching for a way to return to Earth. Gameplay unfolds from a third-person perspective, blending strategic combat with exploration and puzzle solving, and placing strong emphasis on atmosphere and pacing.
367. They are Pragmata.
Hang on a second.
Don't you have a name? Neutralizing threats.
Neutralize us?